All right, how you guys doing? This is Lucifer here, business and spiritual consultant. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And you're probably wondering what the is Lucifer doing on Earth? Well, let me tell you, he's talking about everything that the world is made of, which is what business and spirituality. So, once again, I hope my last video reaches a lot of people. There's a lot of good information in there. A lot of good information. Tremendous, great information. Um, I do think that in the world of the occult, there are many things that are kept secret. But know this, you have to understand that if you enter the world of the occult, that the goal remains the same. The goal is to achieve godhood through meditation and practices. By the way, speaking of which, I have a new meditation to present to you. It's called the Black Dragon Meditation. Black Dragon Meditation is going to open your mind up. It's going to help you harness dark energy. It's very powerful. It's very powerful. It's a very powerful meditation. And I would ask you, it's going to be on downloadable file. I'm going to put it on a downloadable file format. And I will ask you to not share the content of what you are going to experience with anybody else. You know, because I want people to figure it out by themselves. Right? So if you would please, when I come out with this meditation, keep the content of the meditation to yourself and let people find out what it is. So if they want to feel that it's evil, let them feel that it's evil. If they want to think that it's some goody two shoe shit, let them think that it's some goody two shoe shit. It doesn't matter. Let them think whatever they think. The most important thing is if you are a black magic practitioner, left hand path practitioner, this meditation will help you harness dark energy. It will help you harness dragon, black dragon energy. Alright? So I will be coming out with this soon, very soon. Um, so the thing about the matter of choices. So there's still some people that really cold-heartedly believe that everything is about good and evil. A lot of people think that angels and demons are not cut from the same cloth. There might be some demons that take a bit more, that are a little bit more gratuitous with their deeds and acts. I mean, it's just like voodoo, right? There's a lot of people that practice voodoo. But who in voodoo can tell me that these spirits don't do demonic shit? You know what I mean? You could be messing with a, and you don't have to necessarily be a left hand. To me, honestly, I don't see the difference between a left hand path voodoo practitioner and a right hand path voodoo practitioner, because all the spirit act the same. If they want to, if you do a ritual, if you don't do the ritual right, they'll fuck you up. On the right hand path, they will fuck your shit up. They will, make you go crazy. They will make you lose your fucking mind. You know what I mean? So I don't see what the purpose of being a left hand path voodoo practitioner is, since on both spectrums they act the same way. I regular voodoo gods will kill someone. They will flip your car over. They will make you wrap your car around a tree. You know, they will push you down a flight of stairs. You know what I mean? They'll send you to the fucking hospital. You know what I mean? Like I don't get it. You know what I mean? So when I hear, it's not that I want to be disrespectful to left hand path voodoo practitioner, but I don't get it. What's the difference? You know what I mean? Like to me, there's no such thing as left hand path voodoo. There's just voodoo. You know what I mean? Like you got people you fuck with, and there's people you don't fuck with. Or it's to me, voodoo is situational, right? Like if you want to, if you want to make somebody wrap his car around a tree, you go call somebody that make somebody wrap a car around a tree. Like you like if that's your intended purpose, like you know what I mean. There's some people in there that's their intended purpose. You know what I mean? But Frida, easily you can ask easily for anything. You know what I mean, so what's the point of asking anybody else? You know what I mean, if you want somebody, if you want her to wrap somebody's car around a tree, she'll do it. If you want to get some money, she'll do it. You know, anything you ask, she'll do it. What's the point? You know what I mean? Anyway, but I'm getting over myself, and this is above my pay grade. This is above my pay grade, so I don't know. So, anyways, so the same thing on demon side of things, you know, of course there are some demons that are a little bit more gratuitous than others. Of course, obviously, they're about doing what they want. They're rebels. They don't, you know, accept the status quo. You know, they don't accept the quid pro quo, the status quo. They don't conform to this system. They're an unconformist. So of course you're gonna have people that are a little bit more radical. You're gonna have people that are a little bit more radical. But that's on the lower spectrum of black magic. When you're dealing with lesser demons, when you're dealing with lesser demons, those guys tend to not really give a shit. They tend to really not, and it's the same thing for voodoo, because there's a lot of these left hand path voodoo practitioners are actually dealing with lesser gods. They're not dealing with the big gods. Like Freda's a big god. You know what I mean? Uzurli is a big god. You know, Baron is a big god. You know, like those people. Those are the big names, the headliners. You know, and then you have the lesser gods. You know, and I wouldn't say all the lesser gods are on the left hand path. I would just say they're just lesser gods. Period. You know, I don't really consider I don't really feel like there's a right or left in voodoo. You can call whoever you want, and of course you got to know who works with who the best, and that's pretty much it. I don't really consider, and of course you can because it's about a vibe too. That's the thing about voodoo. It's about the vibe. It's about how you feel. You know what I mean? It's about if you're comfortable with having a bad side and a good side, you're gonna have, Freda, and then you're gonna have Cafu, right? You're gonna deal with Cafu and Freda, and those two can work together. But Freda, Izurli will warn you about Cafu. She will warn you to, if you work with him, you better watch out and shit like that. You know what I mean? But they work together. They can work together. I have seen that. I have known people that are known to work with both of them. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's kind of weird. And in demonology, it's the same thing. There's some demons that don't work well together. There's some demons that don't want to work with another kind of demon. You know what I mean? So you got to know who works well together. And sometimes it's by experience that you'll find out who works well together. Because sometimes what I love about demons is sometimes you're gonna call up a demon, but you wanna make sure this shit happens. And if you call another demon, they'll be like, like, what, you don't trust me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't, I can do it. You know what I mean? They're gonna be like, I can do it. You don't have to give me some backup, bro. Like, I don't need no backup. You know what I mean? That's how they act, and a lot of them act that way. A lot of the time, like every time even though they're brothers and sisters, they'll be like they're a little bit competitive between each other. They don't hate each other. They just like I can do it. Like you don't have to call nobody. You know. So so I don't know. It's an interesting thing that I fell on saying that for some reason. But because it is interesting to me to hear a voodoo practitioner say that he's a left hand path practitioner. Like it's very interesting because I'm in my head I'm kind of like you can work with anybody. Like you can work with anybody. There's like routes to take in voodoo. Like there's like pathways that you work in voodoo, and there's a lot of people on certain pathways, right? So you end up having a collection of spirits that goes with the spirit that you work with, like your patron. You know what I mean? So I don't see. So you're not really going in the left hand path. You're just choosing certain spirit that are on a specific path that you are on, right? So on that spectrum, on that path that you are on, depending on how much work you put in, you're gonna have access to certain spirits, and they'll give you access to do certain things. So let's say you just started, you're just gonna have Freda, and then as you work with her, she'll give you access to this spirit. She's gonna present you to another spirit, and she's gonna say, "Oh, that's a marionette or a vagabond or whatever," right? I don't remember the name of that spirit. She doesn't have any legs. I don't remember the name of that spirit, but anyway, there's another one. She doesn't have any legs, and she'll present you to that one, or whatever. You know what I mean? So and then as you go along, there's more spirit and they all have their specific thing that they're capable of doing. So on that day, you need to blah 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 blah, and you'll have blah 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 blah. So like, so it's a curious thing to hear somebody, I'm a left hand path voodoo practitioner. I don't feel like that's real. I don't feel like that's a real thing. I understand if somebody just works with like they just work with Gedes, they just work with like the savages. You know what I mean? They just work with bloods. You know what I mean? I understand if they just work with bloods. I get. You know what I mean? Like I guess I understand why he would consider himself to be left hand path. Because he's just working with bloods. He's just working with like the savages. You know what I mean? Like so, I would get that, but is that a real thing in voodoo? I don't consider it to be a real thing in voodoo because the bloods are always there. You know what I mean? They always there. It doesn't matter what path you're working because they're the goons. They're the goons, right? So like if you have permission, you have to get permission from your patron, whoever your patron is, because for some people it might be Ogu, for some people it might be Urzuli, for some people it might be Baron, for some people it might be anybody, right? But when you get permission from the big guys, that's when the bloods comes in. You know what I mean? And that's when they can enact, they can do shit, they can accentuate themselves. They can accentuate themselves in your life, right? So, like left hand path, I don't know. Sounds weird. It sounds weird. It sounds off. Like I understand what they mean, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, is that really left hand path though? Because you're still in the same section. Like Voodoo spirits can be considered to be left hand path, period. You know what I mean? Just the big names can be considered to be left hand path because they will fuck somebody's shit up too. You know what I mean? Bro, like they will fuck somebody's day up. You know what I mean? So what's the point of saying left hand path voodoo practitioner? Just say voodoo practitioner. You know what I mean? Like, or call yourself a dark sorcerer for that matter. You know what I mean? Because usually he's going to use bloods. She's going to use the same. Everybody uses the same soldiers. You know what I mean? When they go out to do shit, they're the same soldiers. Everybody has the same soldiers. Bloods. The bloods. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. It's kind of weird. But that's my perception on things. You know, I can't be 100% right all the time. You know, but that's how I see it. You know, and I just thought it was because it was kind of you know, it was kind of like it kind of made me scratch my head a little bit when I heard that because a lot of people are saying that now. Like there's a lot of voodoo practitioners are saying like that left hand path, but I don't see the difference between, you know, like I don't see the difference between a left hand path voodoo practitioner and a right hand path practitioner. I mean, some right hand path, we're just healers. We heal people and shit like that. Yeah, but the same person you're using to heal can kill. So it's you that's on the right hand. You know what I mean? But it's not really a right hand. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so I don't know. I guess it's up to interpretation. I guess it's up to interpretation. I guess, you know, it's just weird. So anyways, so I got to repeat myself one more time. I got to repeat myself and say that demonology has nothing to do, and I'm going to try not to tell any secrets because I want you to figure out what it's really about. Right? I want you to figure out what it's really about, so I'm not going to tell any secret. And a lot of you are not going to go check it out, and that's fine. That is your choice. It's your life. You can do whatever you want. I'm not your daddy. I'm not your mommy. So, but for those that are interested, I will tell you that whatever thing that people taught you that demonology was about is something completely different. And even to me, it was a total shock because when I entered demonology, I was looking for a way to defend myself. I was looking I was tired of dealing with spirits that would go halfway. You know what I mean? Like I was tired of spirits and gods that would go halfway. Because there's a lot of spirits and gods that will protect you. They'll protect you, but they're on the defensive. And me, I'm tired of being on the defensive all the time. I'm always on the defensive, bro. Because the powers that be are always coming at me and shit. I can't harm them, but they can harm me. Which is bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm tired of that shit. I want to change. I want some change in my life. I don't want to, you know, always being on the defensive all the time. It's some bullshit. So, as a kid, they tell you demons are the savages, the most savages of the savages, right? Like, everybody knows that. Everybody can agree on that. They're the most savages of the savages. They're the last of the Mohicans. They're the ultimate warrior WWF, right? So in my head, I'm like, you know what? Let's try this demon shit. Let's see what this demon shit's about, right? And I've been practicing Keys of Solomon for years. You know what I mean? But on the angelic side. But I always knew that the things that I was calling while I was doing Keys of Solomon magic, there was some demons in it here and there. So I wasn't completely like, naive about the shit. You know what I mean? So, and then I got into the Necronomicon and shit like that. Al has read. Al has read, bro. Like, that's my dude right there. That's my dog. I mean, that's my brother from another mother. Al has read is badass. You know what I mean? And they say, and I can confirm that it's true, that when he chooses to come around, you can hear somebody scream in Arabian because they call him the Mad Titan. He's the Mad, not the Mad Titan, the Mad Arab. Because people would say when he existed, people would say that you would hear him scream from miles away. Like he would always be screaming. So, so they say that when you successfully evoke Al has read, you're gonna hear an Arab screaming, and I can confirm that that's true. I have heard him scream. I have heard Al has read screaming. So, and it's not like you don't have to be scared because he's not screaming at you. That's just how he presents himself. That's just who he is. He just screams. Like he's not screaming at you. He's not mad at you. He's mad. He's a mad person. But he's also the greatest magician, one of the greatest magicians to ever live. And he paid the price for it. They cut his nose off, cut his ear off, and his I don't remember if his lips or his eye. I don't remember. But they cut his nose off. They cut his ears off because he was beautiful. He was a beautiful man before he became Al has read. He was a beautiful man. Everybody loved him. All the girls loved him. And what happened was the Sultan was tired of him because he even charmed his daughter, the princess. So when he charmed the princess, that's where the Sultan was like, okay, this is it. I'm done with this dude. Cut his nose off, cut his ear off, so like that nobody would find him beautiful again. Send him off to die in the desert. You know what I mean? So even if he made it, people would still be, repulsed by how he looks. Jealousy. The old story of jealousy, you know what I mean? So to me, it felt like it was a real story to me, man, because I was kind of like, I know this shit, bro. Like, this is real shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is for real. Like, this is what happens, in those kind of situations. So I felt it resonated with me. You know what I mean? And I felt like that shit might happen to me one day. Which it did. So it's a cautionary tale, and at the same time, it like depicts like the jealousy in the hearts of men. So to me, Al has read was a real dude. You know, so I got into the whole Necronomicon shit and like Lesser Keys of Solomon and shit like that, and I can tell you, well, I can't tell you, well, I don't want to tell you, that demonology is very different from what these people are always telling us about. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's very different than what other people really be talking about sometimes. Cause it's deeper than what you think. It's like, I was talking to a Freemason. I was talking to a Freemason one day, and he was on my doorstep, and he told me some shit. He said, Well, duality is like, it's like this, right? If you don't trust me, that comes from the mouth of Mason, right? Like, if you don't trust this whole unified field theory, you know, this is from the mouth of a Mason, right? Like, he's like, there's the light and there's the dark, and he tells me at some point, you from the light, right? And what duality is simply, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, because he told me that a long time ago, so I, like, I'm paraphrasing a little bit. So he said, when you're walking in the light, you gotta like realize at some point that the darkness, you have to realize that sometimes you need to get out of the light and walk in the darkness. You know what I mean? It's something like that. It was something like that. You know, like you need to, like, from the light, sometimes when the time comes, you're gonna have to start walking in the darkness. You know what I mean? So that's what a Mason dude told me about duality, about black and white. All right, so he was walking in the light, and at some point he's gonna go through the darkness, and maybe back and forth, and I realize I have this. The conscious collective is telling me right now what's going on with me right now is the conscious collective wants me to return to the light, but that's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? It's just, that shit's over with. Like that's done. The light had its chance, and it didn't show me anything of great value. So, like, that's how I feel. I feel like the light didn't give me anything of great value. I didn't get anything of real value there. You know what I mean? So to me, I feel like it's time for me to walk into the darkness. You know what I mean? And I don't know how long I'm gonna stay in the dark. I have no idea. But I'm gonna stay in the dark right now because I already learned everything I could from being in the light. You know what I mean? So anybody that I've wronged, everybody that feels that I've wronged them, that was the light. That was the light, bro. Like I was, you know what I mean? That was the light. That's what it is. I was walking in the light, bro. I was walking in the light, and I know I've wronged some people, and I know there's some people that don't like me. Straight up, they just don't like my face. You know what I mean? So that was the light. So, like, now I have to go see what's up on the other side. Cause I already saw everything that was up in the light. I saw everything, everything. And now I have to walk in the darkness a little bit to see what's up. Because I have to switch my perception on shit. Because I was in the light and I was making mistakes. And I was learning at the same time. I was learning. I was in the light. I was making mistakes. I was learning. I was doing everything. Right? I was a good guy. I was good at two shoes. All that shit. Right? I'm still a good guy. Right? Even though you might not believe me, I'm still a good guy. But now it's not about being a good guy anymore. It's not about like being a good two shoes anymore. Right now it's about like what I want. Right now it's about like what I need and what I want. It's not about like doing something for somebody else. It's not about that. So, but even though I'm not doing something for somebody else right now, that doesn't mean that I don't care about what's going on, period. Like, I'm not trying to just get whatever I can out of said and such demon. I'm not just trying to do that. I have a relationship with these demons. They are part of my life, and I am part of their lives. We walk together. Just like I used to do on the light. In the light, I used to walk with angels. The angels would walk with me. Right now, I feel I have to do the same shit on the left hand side. And there's nothing wrong with that. You have to understand why, by yourself, why you need to do this. And it's not something that you should do if you're not stable. It's not something that you should do if you are easily shaken. It's not something to do if you're easily shaken. It's something you need to do when you are ready to do it. When you feel it's the time, when you are tired of repeating the same shit over and over and over again, when you need to actually have some change in your life, that's when you're ready to go towards, to walking a little bit, a few miles in the darkness. Not before. And I plead to you not to do this if you're not ready. I plead to you not to walk in the darkness if you are not ready. Because it's gonna fuck you up. It's gonna mess you up, man. It's gonna mess you up. It's gonna fuck you up real good. Real good. You're gonna see shit. You're gonna not understand shit. You're gonna freak out. You know what I mean? Especially if you don't believe in like gurus or leaders and shit like that. Like if you got nobody, you're doing this by yourself, you're gonna flip. You're gonna flip, bro. You're gonna, you know, you will flip. Speaking of flipping, so a lot of people think that me as depicting myself as being Lucifer is because of some agenda or some kind of conspiracy or agenda or narrative that I might be trying to enact. No, nigga, like I'm the real deal. I'm the real deal, bro. I'm not trying to push no narratives. I'm not a Luciferian. I'm not a Satanist. I don't consider myself to be a Satanist or a Luciferian. I don't think these guys are real. I don't feel like these people are real. I don't feel it. I don't feel it. I do not feel it. I mean, because me, I take the shit seriously. Like, I take the shit seriously, man. Like, and I'm not saying like they don't know. They know. I mean, like, if I give you a description of a demon, there's 300 people that's gonna give you the same depiction of a demon. I could do that shit live, like in front of your face, like in front of the face of somebody is better than doing a YouTube video, because then I could have just watched somebody else's video and just said, oh, da 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 da. You know what I mean? But nah, I can do that shit live. Then you go check out YouTube, and then you see, oh yeah, okay, it's like 300 people saying the same shit. So that has to be the real description of the thing, of the demon or the person, whatever, the spirit. So I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. I just don't feel like being part of something that's is just to drink beer on Sundays. You know what I mean? Like I just don't feel like doing that right now. I'd rather be by myself and do this shit by myself and find the truth, the knowledge, and the power by myself, because of course with somebody else shit would be easier. Shit is always easier when you're with other people. It's always easier. Of course it is. But like I said before, I take it seriously. So if I start hanging around with people that's just, this is just something cool to do. To me, it's not just something cool to do, man. Like this, to me, this shit is real, bro. Like that's my life, man. Like I've been through it, bro. Like I lived it, nigga. Like it's not like I'm living it. I'm not just evoking and invoking and evoking and conjuring, nigga. I live it. I mean, It's my life. It's my life. So people might think, oh, he might be a Luciferian or some shit like that, blah 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 blah. Nah, because I don't. Those guys, I don't feel like these guys are real. I don't feel it. I don't know. I just don't. I don't know if that's true or not. I just don't feel it. Like I don't really see it. I don't feel it. There's some dudes out there that saying good shit. They're doing good videos. They got good content. What they're saying is real. But at the end of the day, even those guys are by themselves. They're not really part of a group. They might have contacts. They might have certain friends within the community. They're part of a community, but they're not part of a church. They're not part of a lodge, a church, a specific room with chairs and tables where they all meet up and gather and talk. I mean, they can do that from time to time, but that's called a convention. You know what I mean? That's a convention. You probably need to pay to be there. You just what I mean? Like you get a little bit of content. You can't record with your cell phone. It's kind of like a concert. It's not the same thing. That's something I don't care doing. What I mean? I might show up to a convention. I might do that, but as of presenting myself every day in a specific place every time with the same people and working with the same people, you would have to be like fucking serious about this, man. Because I know the demons are fucking serious about this. I mean, the demons will do shit for you. And that's what I was saying. Sorry about that. I got off track, actually. Because I was looking for a way to defend myself because I wanted to change my life. What I mean? I couldn't... I was tired of being a martyr for these powers that be. I mean, now I'm not a martyr for these powers that be. Other people around me might not respect and like what I'm doing to the powers that be, but it's still different than being a martyr. It's still different than being a scapegoat. What I mean? Like it's a better situation than just being a scapegoat, right? Like because now you can choose to cause damage if shit gets too crazy. What I mean? And that's the other thing. Like demons will go above and beyond for you. They will go above and beyond for you. They will fuck shit up. What I mean? like seriously, like murderous rage, homicidal rage, bro. Like that's what a demon will get homicidal with your ass. I mean, they will get homicidal with your ass. So they take you seriously. So if they take me seriously, it's just normal that I take them seriously too. What I mean? It's just normal that I just, because if you ready to go to war for someone and that person is not reciprocating the emotion or the sentiment, then that ain't cool. And that's not my problem. Because I do reciprocate the sentiment. It's them that tell me to slow my ass down sometimes. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like they're like, you going too fast, bro. Relax, man. Like, because that's another thing that I can't really talk to you about, and that you have to find out for yourself. Because right now you can only listen to me, then use some shit that you might or might not comprehend. But at the end of the day, to really find out what the fuck I'm saying, you would have to be doing shit with demons to find out what the fuck I'm talking about. Because right now, if you don't practice that shit, if you're not into that shit, you have no idea what I'm saying. And you might think that you know what I'm saying, but you don't. Like, you really don't. Like, 100% sure that you have no idea. 100% sure. And there's a lot of people, like I said before, there's a lot of people that kind of like, what's up with all these secret shit? Because everybody's on the same vibe right now. We're trying to say things, and then the spirits are kind of like, don't say that. What I mean? And because we're trying to do good. We're trying to do good. We're trying to do something for humanity, right? And people don't like that. People think, oh well, spirits, they're like trying to stop you. They're controlling you. They're not controlling us. They're not trying to stop us. We can say the shit still. We can say it. we could say it, but we understand why we're not supposed to say it. So that's why we listen when they talk. It's not just we, like fucking naive and just listen because, oh, the spirit said something, so, I'm scared, so I'm going to listen. No. We know why. We know why. We already know. We knew before working with before these spirits even thought of manifesting themselves in front of us, we already knew that there's some secrets that we're not supposed to tell. We already knew that. And it's not like we don't want to tell these secrets. It's because sometimes it might make people go crazy. People might even take advantage of us if we tell those secrets, right? Like the other day, like the Illuminati's trying to find out what's the secret of alcohol. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, the alcohol has a secret. And the secret of alcohol is like, you can easily channel things when you're on alcohol. So the Illuminati's trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with the alcohol and how is it making people feel like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they want to know right now. But it's a vibe thing. It's a voodoo thing, man. That's a voodoo thing, bro. Like, that's a vibe thing, man. Like, you can't, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta be in the groove. It's a black thing. I'm kidding. It's not. But I call it voodoo because how it feels. It feels like voodoo. You know what I mean? So to me, it feels like voodoo. That's just how it feels to me. So they're trying to find out, like, what's the secret of alcohol? Like, why are people prone to be like possessed or change attitudes when they drink? So they're trying to find out what's the spiritual secret behind alcohol. You know what I mean? Like, So I don't know. Things like that. Things like that. Because me, when I drink, I know I can channel anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when I drink, I can channel anything. Like, you know what I mean? That shit just happens. Like, it becomes magical. It becomes dangerously magical. You know what I mean? Like, it becomes dangerously magical. You know what I mean? When I start drinking. So, it's not all the time, but I can do it if I want to. Like, I know how to do that. Like I said before, like I have a lot of abilities. I have a lot of like hidden talents and hidden abilities, and most of the times people don't see it. Like sometimes people see it, sometimes they don't. Like, you know what I mean? It's like there's so many. I got so many tricks up my sleeve. It's ridiculous. Sometimes I don't even know what to use. Like sometimes I don't even know what to do. Should I do this? Should I do that? I mean, like, I don't know. I'm not sure. Um, it's like the voice thing. Crystalline energy. You know, um, Superman energy, crystalline energy, man. The voice. That's a magic trick. Rhythm. Sorry about that. Rhythm. That's a magic trick. It's a trick. There's a reason why it works. Like there's a scientific reason why it works. It's a trick. Most magics, most quick spells. I call them quick spells. Quick spells, they're just tricks. You know what I mean? Like there's a reason why it works, but it's a trick. And sometimes your trick is connected to another trick, so your trick is actually bigger than, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, like let's say you use, you can connect certain spirits to certain music, right? So let's say like you're used to using this specific kind of spirit, so now you can connect that spirit to your rhythm magic, right? So when you're doing your rhythm magic, the things that happens when you use rhythm magic will happen. But then again, also the spirit that you connected to the rhythm magic is going to start appearing too every time you do rhythm magic. You know what I mean? So you can connect like quick spells together and shit like that. You know, um, which is all these things are not really things that you can. I mean, you can do those things on the right hand path too. You can do those things on right hand path too, um, but it's not. It's a liberty that you're taking, right? It's not something that you're supposed to be doing. It's really a liberty that you are taking upon yourself to do that because you know at the end of the day you're not supposed to be doing that. You know, because I'm not gonna lie, doing things like that took me a couple years before I can easily do it. You know, it's not like it happened super fast the first time I did it or some shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, you know, oh, you know, first time, first try, first go. You know, no, no. It takes a little bit of practice, you know, and you still got to practice even though you finish practicing. Like, it's not over. So, like I said before, you're looking for to enact change in your life. You're looking to become a complete human being. But the thing is, how can you be a complete human being if you only have light? You only have one side of the spectrum. There's two spectrums. There's two legitimate big spectrums, and there's light and there's dark. So you gotta have light and you gotta have dark. And if you have dark, then you have to have a little light. If you are always in the dark, you're going to need some light at some point. I'm sorry to tell you, especially if you're looking to become a god. If you're looking to become a god, you will have to get some light somewhere, somehow. I mean, you don't have to like not be you don't have to not be left hand path anymore, but you're gonna need some light if you're trying to achieve godlike powers, which is the power of creation, the power of manifestation, which means that you don't need all of this, you know, to make things happen. You're gonna need both, unfortunately, or fortunately for some. It depends. Well, unfortunately, anyways, because I don't think people in the light feel like walking in the dark, and I don't think people in the dark feel like walking in the light. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure there's a clear disdain between the two. But unfortunately, like I told you before, and like Massive Attack said in one of their videos, which is called Angel, you must let traffic flow both ways. You gotta let traffic flow both ways. What does that mean? You gotta let the light in and you gotta let the dark in. You gotta let traffic flow both ways. In the video, there's you look it up. Look it up. Massive Attack Angel. It's a crazy beat. At some point in the video, there's like a poster sign. There's like a parking lot, and on the column in big letters it says "Let traffic flow both ways." They didn't put that shit there for nothing. That's the Illuminati that put that shit there, man. You know what I mean? That's not us, bro. That's not we don't do music videos and shit, bro. Like, that's the Illuminati that put that shit there. They put that shit there on purpose. Because they knew somebody was gonna catch on to it. They knew somebody was gonna see it. And they also knew somebody was gonna understand it. You know what I mean? I don't know why they did it, but they did it. Because the Illuminati believes in that shit. They believe in letting traffic flow both ways. They work with the light and they work with the dark. So of course they know that shit. You know, they like to flaunt. The Illuminati likes to flaunt their knowledge more than people even realize. You know what I mean? Like, they like to flaunt their knowledge more than people realize. And it's like mostly in subliminals. Like, you're not going to catch it the first time you see it. But if you look at it, you know, long enough, you're kind of like, oh shit, I didn't notice that was there. And then you're going to realize that that shit has an occult meaning behind it. Like letting the traffic flow both ways. That's an occult meaning. Right? It's like as above, so below. It's the same thing. You know, I always say as below, so above. And that's a real shit too. You know, a lot of people clown me. A lot of people disrespect me and clown me and don't take me seriously for saying as below, so above. But if you go check out the Kybalion, if you go read the Kybalion, or you go listen to the audiobook, it says plainly as below, so above. It says the same shit in the Kybalion, which is also considered to be the tablets of Thoth, or the emerald tablets. You know what I mean? It's considered to be the same shit. So if you check the Kybalion, that's Atlantean knowledge. As below, so above. It's not just above that's below. Below is also above, which is the thing that I try to explain to people, but nobody really believes that shit. Nobody really wants to believe that all of us, this world, is actually a representation of the heavens. Nobody wants to believe that shit. Everybody wants to believe that this is hell. Everybody wants to believe that hell is a place where, you know, all the wretchedness and all the bad shit happens. And of course, yes, there is bad shit that happened here. Of course. I've seen some bad shit happen. Bad shit happened to me. But I don't let that change my perception on things, because that's an emotional way of thinking. When you get emotional, when you get emotional, you get blinded. You know what I mean? It's like a flash of light in your face. You can't see shit anymore. That's what happens when you get emotional. So that's why it's good to moderate your emotion. I'm not saying being heartless, cold, calculating is a good. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is to moderate, pay attention to your emotions, because most people, the reason why they feel like they're in hell, the reason why they feel like this place is just full of the most wretched shit ever, which it does look like that sometimes, and sometimes there's some shit that will make you feel that that's true. But at the end of the day, it's your emotions that are telling you that shit. It's not logic. It's not actual facts. Because if you look at the facts will tell you something completely different than what you feel. And what you feel is not always facts. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not like, I'm not telling you not to have emotions. I'm not telling you like you shouldn't follow your intuition, because your intuition can lead you to great and many riches sometimes. But instinct, survival instincts, just instinct period, animal instinct, survival instinct, intuition, those are good senses. You know what I mean? That shit can save your life or bring you to riches. You know what I mean? It all depends. Or some kind of knowledge. But at the end of the day, if you're just having emotions, if you're just seeing bad things happen, if you're just aware of the bad things, and those things make you feel like you're on a lower emotional spectrum, then of course you're going to feel like, yo, this is hell. This is hell on earth. But these are only your emotions that is giving you information. It's the emotion. You're getting your information from the emotion. You're not getting information from the actual fact. Because if you look it up, if you research what the earth is, you'll realize that it's not hell. And there's no if and buts about it. Like this is the Garden of Eden. This is the Garden of Eden. This is heaven. You know what I mean? As above, so below. As below, so above. You know what I mean? So, as I was saying, so you're telling me, I'm Lucifer, right? And you're telling me, as below, so above, and I'm in heaven. So right now, Lucifer's in heaven. What the fuck is Lucifer doing in heaven? Well, I'm in heaven, but I'm not really in heaven. You know what I mean? Because there's the material that you can't see, and there's the things that you can't see, right? There's the things that you can see, and there's the things that you can't see. So to you, I'm walking around in heaven. But in actuality, I'm not walking around in heaven. I'm walking around somewhere else. You know what I mean? So you see me walk, but I'm not really there. You see me walk, but I'm not really there walking. What your eyes see is not necessarily what is really going on. So I'm Lucifer. This is heaven. But that's what I told you. This is not something that you research. It's not something that you understand. This is what I'm telling you. But if you do extensive research, if you do understand parallel universes, if you do understand multiverse, if you do understand the multiverse, if you do understand parallel universes, you'll understand that when you see Lucifer walk outside in heaven, he's not really walking outside in heaven. That's just his corporal representation walking around. But in actuality, even the corporal representation is not really there. He's not in heaven. He's not part of heaven. He's part of hell. So the people he frequents, the life he lives, is a life based off of another dimension, while everybody else lives in another dimension. While everybody else is living in heaven, he's actually living in hell. But to you, it looks like he's living in heaven too, but he's not really in heaven. I know this is fucking confusing and shit. I know it's fucking confusing and shit, but that's because you have to do your own research to figure out what the fuck I'm talking about, right? You know what I mean? Not a lot of people understand. Not a lot of people understand, but the moral of the story is, you know, you think I'm evil, you think I'm the bad guy, you think I'm this, you think I'm that, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, at the end of the day, being Lucifer is not what people think it is. Like, being Lucifer is not what people think it is. Being Lucifer is a representation of a dimension. Lucifer is a representation of a different dimension that is here on earth. So to you, hell is where all the black people get shot. You know, there's racism, there's, you know, all kinds of criminal acts, you know, just despicable shit. That to you, that's what you think hell is, right? But to me, that's not what hell is. To me, hell is something completely different. And to me, it feels like that's what heaven is. To me, heaven is the place where all the most despicable shit happen. To me, heaven is where the most despicable shit happen, and I can't stand it. I can't smell it. I can't. It's just nasty to me, man. Like, I don't understand. You don't understand us, and we don't understand you. I mean, we do understand you. Y'all don't understand us, but we understand you. You know, like, y'all don't understand us, but we understand you. You know what I mean? And but what we don't understand is why so many people want to live in heaven. Because to us it doesn't make any sense. We just don't get it. We just don't see the purpose of living in heaven. Right? So I hope that answers a lot of questions about what it means to be Lucifer. And I know there's a lot of things that you don't understand in this video, and quite frankly, I don't care. I mean, it's not that I don't care, it's that whole, you know, I'm not going to tell you a bunch of secrets and shit. You know what I mean? Like, and you can look it up too. And that's another reason why spirits don't like it when you're telling secrets, because you can look it up. And the spirits are kind of like, you know, why are you telling these fucking shits when they can just fucking pick up a fucking book? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if they didn't fucking feel like picking up a fucking book to read it, why the fuck would you take the responsibility of saying that shit, man? Like, you know, to the spirits, that shit don't make no damn sense. And I understand. But I also understand what it feels to be human. Sometimes you just don't feel like reading this shit, man. Like, just tell me, nigga. Just, you know what I mean? Just fucking tell me the fucking thing, bro, so we can be done with it, man. You know what I mean? But, you know, like I said before, it's not the only reason. Like I said before, it's not the only reason. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something before I break off. Before I launch. science fiction movies. Science fucking fiction movies. You see, a lot of you peoples, y'all looking at documentaries about the Illuminati. Y'all looking at, which is fine. You can do that too. There's nothing wrong with that. But y'all looking at, trying to uncover, the books, the Vatican and shit like that and blah, blah, blah. Science fiction fucking movies. Why am I repeating science fiction movies? Let me tell you why. Because most things that you see in science fiction movies are actually things that are going on right now. It's just that they're saying things. It's just art. It's an artistic way of saying these things. It's just art. Science fiction movies are just art, bro. It's another way, and art is usually connected to giving out information. Art is usually connected to giving out information in a digestible fashion, right? So what they do is, when you're looking at science fiction movies, they're actually telling you information about, and this is a secret. This is a secret. I'm not supposed to be telling you this shit. You know what I mean? I am not supposed. White people, the Confederation of White People will probably come at my neck for saying this shit. Alright? Like, the Confederacy of White People might come at my neck for this shit, bro. So this is some real shit. You best believe that's some real shit that I'm saying right now. That's like the realest shit I ever wrote. But science fiction movies, they are way worse than all the occult movies, all the movies about angels and demons, all the movies about like the Illuminati and shit. That shit ain't shit compared to science fiction movies, man. Because the shit that happens in science fiction movies is shit that's going on right now. It's shit that's going on right now. So when you see like a science fiction movie and the guy's is capable of doing this and that and blah, 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 he's flying and blah, 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 spaceships and shit, that's real. All that shit is real. But you just need to understand what it means, because they're giving that shit to you on the face value, which is on purpose. They're giving that shit to you on face value. So you're the one that has to understand what the underlying, right, information is actually, the underlying knowledge, the underlying process. You have to understand that shit too by yourself. It's like, like I was watching a science fiction movie. It was an Italian science fiction movie, bro, about multiverse, about time travel, not multiverse. It was about time travel. But I was listening to that shit, and that's why I understood, this shit is going on right now. I mean, I always knew that shit, but I understood that this is what these niggas was trying to tell us. These niggas are trying to tell us shit using science fiction movies. I never noticed because there's so much science in it, and there's, it's so fantastical that I just thought motherfuckers was just, hoping it was just something that people were, like the global consciousness of what people presume to be a utopia or something better, or a better place. You know what I mean? I thought that's what science fiction movies was. I thought it was just people trying to express themselves on a better life, like a utopia where everything is breaking and everything is perfect, and we're technologically advanced and we're smart and shit like that. BS. That shit's all that shit that I just said right now. You know what I mean? Like, all that shit I just said, this is going on right now. It's going on right now. Spaceships, evolved human being, utopia, all that crap. But all these things are probably part of a separate dimension, or you just need to understand what the actual process is. Fucking spaceship. What's a spaceship? What does that mean? A spaceship? What is that? Go look it up. A lot of people won't understand this shit. A lot of people won't understand none of this shit. A lot of people won't. A lot of people are gonna watch this video and gonna say, "Man, this nigga's tweaking." They're gonna watch the video and this nigga's high as shit. I ain't high, nigga. I'm high on life. I'm high on life, bro. I'm high on life. I'm not high, man. I'm just telling you, bro. Y'all don't believe this shit, man. I'm telling you, these motherfuckers are hiding the truth in plain sight. These niggas are hiding the truth in plain sight. And I don't even feel bad about it. Like, I'm not even mad at that. Like, I don't even feel, why would I be mad at that shit? They don't have to tell us shit. It's the fucking Illuminati. They can do whatever the fuck they want, right? They don't have to tell us shit. So I'm not even mad at that, bro. I'm not even mad at nothing right now, bro. Like, that's not even a thing. All I'm trying to say is the shit is right in front of your fucking face. That's all I'm trying to say, bro. That's it. You can think I'm tweaking for that shit. Well, that's, whatever. You do you, boo-boo. You do you, boo-boo. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm telling you, nigga, if you really want to know some shit, start paying attention to science fiction movies. You don't have to watch them all. Just from time to time, open your mouth up. Because I know some niggas out here, you know. Y'all niggas be like, man, I ain't watching no fucking science fiction shit. You know what I mean? Because that shit's gonna make you feel iffy. You know what I mean? You're gonna feel like you ain't tough if you watching some fucking science fiction shit. You know what I mean, bro? Like, I already know. I know, bro. Like, I know. You can make, like, there's a lot of people you can't sit his ass down to watch a goddamn science fiction movie with, man. Even people that don't even like, even non-street people don't like science fiction movies because of all the science terms and blah 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 blah. Yeah, but get used to it, man. Because they're telling you who you are. They telling you who you are, bro. It's in front of your fucking face, man. Like, they telling you they know who you are, and they telling you that they know who you are. It's just that you don't understand that that's what the fuck is going on. So you don't know who you are, but they know who you are. And you walking around town oblivious. Sleepwalking. Zombified, nigga. Shit. Zombified, bro. Oblivious. Bamboozled. And they telling you that shit. They telling us that shit, man. Fucking Dragon Ball, science fiction movies, animes, bro. Fucking a Marvel Avengers Hollywood movie. Ain't none of that shit in Marvel Avengers movie happened in the comic book, bro. None of it. It's all bullshit. It's made up. They put whatever the fuck they want in that shit, man. The fucking Matrix. Nigga, ain't none of I read comic books. I read comic books, bro. I'm telling you. All that shit you saw in the Marvel Avengers movie never fucking happened. It never fucking happened. So what the fuck are they talking about, bro? Like, what is that? What am I watching? What am I watching, bro? Like, that makes no sense. Motherfuckers, how your motherfuckers don't catch up to that shit, man? I'm gonna tell you what, when they did, it's because, people don't read that much comics, but I'm telling you what, people like X-Men, right? I'm gonna tell you, the first time they did the X-Men movie, everybody complained about the shit because everybody said, man, that ain't what the fuck happened in the fucking X-Men, bro. What the fuck is this? Everybody hated that movie, man. Everybody hates fucking X-Men. Ain't nobody like X-Men, bro. No one likes X-Men. Because everybody knew that that shit wasn't real. It wasn't what the comic books was about. It wasn't talking, none of it. Everybody already knew. But now we're a little bit more advanced. They're using Marvel comics. They know people don't read Iron Man. You know what I mean? People just buy posters and shit, and they just think it's cool. You know what I mean? Like, they don't read Iron Man. They don't read Hulk. You know what I mean? They don't know. You know what I mean? They know they can use Marvel to tell the truth and lie at the same time. They can use Marvel comics to lie about telling the truth. What? That shit makes no sense. Of course people are fucking confused, bro. My hand is burning right now. I don't know why. That shit makes no sense. They can lie about telling the truth, bro. Of course people are confused. Why in the shit someone wants to lie about telling the truth? Like, that makes no sense, bro. How does that even happen? Why? What's your point? What's your point? And that's another magician trick. It's another magician trick, bro. That's the oldest trick in the fucking book, man. It's the oldest trick in the book. Because the thing y'all don't understand about these occultists, just because sometimes the simplest spells are the most powerful. Sometimes the most easily shit, the shit that you do, like, you take for granted, is like the most powerful shit ever. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes. Now I'm telling you what these niggas are doing. I can see Lucifer in the background. And I'm telling you what these niggas are doing. These niggas over there are doing, man. They're using the simplest trick in the book, bro. To catch our minds, to capture our minds, to catch our minds, bro. To bamboozle us. To flip our minds and make us think all kinds of shit. To change the spectrum and the curriculum and the narrative, the agenda of the world. Because you're thinking one thing and they probably don't want you to think that shit, so they flip your mind to think something else. And a lot of people are like, man, they ain't doing that shit. They can't fool me. Yes, they are. And yes, they did. Because they're smarter than you. Because they are smarter than you, bro. I can see them in the background. You see the eyes and shit? I can see that's weird. Some fucked up shit right there. Anyway. So I'm telling you, man, like, oldest trick in the book. Oldest trick in the fucking book. I could tell you what the trick is. I could tell you what the trick is, but I'm not. Should I say it? I'm seeing 4 4s here. I'm seeing 4 4s. I don't know if I should say it. I don't feel like saying it. I don't feel like saying it. You know what I mean? But it's like the simplest trick in the world, bro. It's not even the most powerful shit that they could do. They did worse for less. Like, you know, they use more juice for less shit. But that trick right there, simple. Because there's a reason why they're lying about telling the truth to people. There's a reason why they're doing that. I know what the reason is. Some people know what the reason is, but they don't know what the trick they're using is. Some people just realize that they're telling us the truth in movies, but they don't know why they're telling us the truth in movies. Anyways, man. Some crazy shit that we got going on these days, bro. Some crazy shit. So anyways, I know you guys ain't gonna listen. I know you guys ain't gonna do your research either. I know there's some guys doing research too. I know there's some guys that actually know what I'm saying. I know there's some people that won't admit that what I'm saying is true. And I'm talking about influential people, powerful people, people just like me. You know what I mean? But since I represent a dark path. Since I represent the other guy in the mirror, they ain't fucking with me like that. And that's okay, because that's something else that you're gonna have to understand. That's something else that you're gonna have to go through, whether you like it or not, especially if you're serious about your process. But hey, that's okay. Or maybe I'm just tripping. Maybe they are gonna talk to me one day. I don't know. Telling you, man. I'm telling you. Hold up, man. How much time we have here, man? At 1 hour 15. I could keep going. I could keep going, but I'm good. I'm good. I got enough. I got enough. You know, I dropped a couple gems here and there. You know, we talked about voodoo, we talked about demonology, we talked about being Lucifer, we talked about different dimensions, we talked about the Illuminati and all that shit. And you know what I mean? Like, you got enough information on here, nigga. That other video too is a good video, man. There's a lot of good information on here, and you're gonna have to do the work. You're gonna have to do the work, bro. You're gonna have to do the work. Once you do the work, once you do the research, you're gonna understand all this shit. And I told you, science fiction movies. Science fiction movies, man. Like, shit's going on right now. Y'all think that shit's in the future? Nah, it's right now. Even the words are meant to confuse you. Y'all talking about, oh man, fucking, you know, science and shit. You know what I mean? Like, chill. Listen. If you don't know something, go look it up. Because sometimes they put science in the movies and the science is not exact. Like, you know what I mean? It's not, it's just, you know, it just sounded good in the movie and it had nothing to do with what's going on in the movie. So don't even trip. You know what I mean? You don't have to understand everything. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, the gist of it, there's some spiritual aspect to it, and that's what you need to understand. You know what I mean? And then you can get into the scientific shit if you're still interested. Because there's some scientific shit that's actually going on right now that's connected to spirituality. Kind of, in a sense. It is, because when you're talking about like multiversal, you know, changing dimensions, creating, manifesting, that's science. That's the power of the atom. That's nuclear power, bro. That's nuclear power, nigga. That's the power of the sun right there, bro. That's manifestations, bro. Nigga, you moving atoms around, nigga. Shit. What the fuck? I'll see you guys next time, man. Have a good one, man. Peace out.